Okay, so let's hop on in. The topic today, again, is our landing pages workshop here. And we'll talk about what landing pages are in KV Core, how to create them, how and where to promote them. Just a little bit of housekeeping for you next level members. I did get yesterday's session live, the cold messaging to fill your KV Core database with fresh leads, pretty much free leads. I thought that was pretty fun and interesting. So not to toot my own horn. And Kelly, hey, there she is. Oh, that's Annalisa.
It is.
So, all right. Well, so I thought that content was pretty good, and Kelly contributed very nicely. And she had some great ideas in there. And then on the 10th, 2 days ago, we did some non-real estate next level stuff. So check out those episodes when you have time. Welcome, Annalisa. It's nice to see you here today.
It's so good to be here. I'm like, I got to break away and see my people.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, and this topic is one that you've done a lot.
It's on the nose.
Yeah, good. Yeah. And then I just want to mention at the end of this session at 5 p.m., there is a session with Kelly about Core Present. We had some requests yesterday for that. So we'll make sure that replay makes it onto the YouTube channel as well. And if you guys want to join Kelly live in an hour, she'll take over after this. So let me just look here. First, we have a quick question before we get started. How do I get somebody set up my KV Core set up properly? Well, Annalisa actually runs our setup service. So maybe go ahead in the marketplace and check that out. And then you will get some time with Annalisa, and she will also complete the setup service. You'll see mentioned there in the marketplace tab under coaching. I think that's what it's under.
It is, yeah. And it's basically, I go through and analyze the smart campaigns you have set up, make sure your signature is there, SEO landing pages to make sure you've got your search engine optimization built in. I check on some website settings, and then all together I create some lead gen opportunities for you that you can start sharing to your social media. And then you get an hour with me, 45 minutes to an hour with me, where you can ask any question you have about KV Core. I mean, it can be about what I set up, or if you're like, now hold on, what is this all about? What should I be focusing on? We can pretty much address anything you want to discuss there. So I mean, that alone being with me is like awesome, right?
That's right.
But, this is, I would say, between the one-on-one coaching session, which is also my baby, and KV Core Setup Service, they both offer some really great value for the cost involved. And, you get to speak with yours truly and get my insight from being a user of KV Core and helping see it since it was a baby into a teenage system right now, right? So I can, give you some really good insight and give you some good direction and forward, thinking stuff.
Great. Yeah. All 5 reviews. I'm stunned. Like every review we see on that. We're not here to pitch that service, but
not just 5 reviews, all 5-star reviews.
All 5-star reviews. I see the reviews. So
yeah.
So they look really good. People are happy with that service. You guys can check that out in the coaching tab in the marketplace.
Yep.
If you have questions about it, just use our regular chat and the team will route that our way. Yes. There was a quick question that maybe Annalisa can just help with privately about removing an agent that's not with our company. John and Annalisa will just maybe chat you privately about that.
Yeah.
And then let's dig in here. So the topic again that you all came for is kind of this deep dive into landing pages. And the first place I wanted to start with that is just kind of clarifying what the difference is between a landing page and how it's different from a squeeze page as far as the KV Core system is concerned. In the wider internet marketing circles, you might hear those terms used roughly interchangeably, but they're a little different with us. So a landing page, as far as KV Core goes, is basically a simple page without a navigation. So you don't see a bunch of links. You don't see a lot of distraction. And the whole goal of these pages is that somebody lands here and their brain is either going to agree with and be interested in the offer that you're making, and they're going to feed you some contact info, or they're not.
And I think, when people ask me, like, what's the difference between one of these and a squeeze? Basically, like my metaphor is basically a squeeze page. You might want to think of a squeeze page as like a cattle chute. You are directing people to a destination. The majority are going to go to that destination. Some might jump the gate. It's just the nature of the thing. When it comes to a landing page, the lead gen landing page, this is giving you the ability to create a one-off web page. And speaking to the question that just came through from Pankaj. So yes, you're on the right track there. It's the same as a web page. So you're building a single one-off web page. And the whole thing about the default one that comes up, if you look to the upper left, it says lead gen. So there's a little menu of them in here, but the one you're going to use 90% of the time is the lead gen one. The whole idea here is when people click that orange button, within, I'd say, under 10 seconds, the contact is going to be shot over to your website to view those properties or that custom page or whatever you're trying to share with them on your own site. They're going to be automatically signed in the moment they click that orange button. So it's seamless sign in. They won't be prompted to sign in once they get there. And they're going to land, stay at the same time within that 10 seconds on your dashboard. And that's why you build a hashtag in, so you can know exactly what they were looking at and how the heck did they land on my dashboard. So it is a really powerful 1-2 punch of getting them on your dashboard very, very quickly and getting them to your website to get that information and that seamless sign in. So, the landing page gives you the ability to really address anything in addition to just listing or listings. It can be really all encompassing for whatever you want to share with someone. So like Kelly in the past has done community efforts. Like, I guess, when the pandemic initially hit, it was like, hey, can you spare a square? And it was basically a toilet paper collection.
Toilet paper drive.
It was a toilet paper drive. So that was kind of a fun example. But, you can get super creative with events. Maybe you're going to share information. Like I talked to a guy yesterday who's going to do like Buyer 101. And he was going to send like a little ad out with his pay-per-click saying, hey, opt in here to get access to these exclusive quick views on how you should prepare to become a home buyer. What do we need to have in place? So, it can be basically anything you want to share with folks.
Yeah. And then the difference between that and a squeeze link, I just want to give people on the screen.
Yeah, some more context. Yeah.
Yeah. So this would be a squeeze link where you have a bunch of stuff. You have your site navigation, and generally the leads here are created by the pop-up modal that asks for information. In most cases, and we're going to show some examples in a minute, a lot of times you will use these lead gen landing pages to then redirect people, as Annalisa said, into a squeeze link of properties.
Yeah.
And the person won't be required to log back in. Again.
It works beautifully and is very effective.
Yeah. So good explanation. Thanks, Annalisa.
For sure.
And so we're going to dive in here and talk about how to create these things, very kind of just run through the functionality of building a page. We'll talk quickly about where to promote them and how to generate leads from them. And we'll dive into specific examples. So let's start and just build one out here, Annalisa. I'll let you, what kind of page should we build here for our first example?
The one I get them, there's so many. I think like we've done growth systems, right? So let's speak about some of our growth systems for like new construction, waterfront properties, retirement, like retirees downsizing. I mean, the sky is the limit on anything you want to portray. I mean, my whole idea when I'm talking with people about landing pages is, you can save them by bookmarking them once you've built them, and then you have a whole stable of landing pages in the landing page folder on your browser. So when you think about like the top areas that you service, you might want to think about, what are the top 8 areas that I specifically like working with or in? Yeah. And then you can create a landing page for each of those and then start expanding your landing page library of things within.
But let's do one at a time and get a funnel working.
But my mind's going now. I haven't talked to people in so long, Ryan.
I know. Okay, so let's go ahead and just do the basic functionality of the page, and I'm going to start by showing you again where that is. If you click in KV Core and you hover over the lead engine here, and you click on, you can go to all lead engine tools and it'll come up, or you can just hover here and click build landing page.
Well, one thing to point out there, go back to the dashboard, please. If you are an admin or a team lead, you have to click on lead engine itself on the left.
Okay.
And then you can choose the URL that you want the landing page to be directed to. Gotcha. So that's a real important factor. So if you're an admin, you can create them for your office, your team, your company, or any of the agents within. So if you're going to do something for your own brokerage, be sure to jump into lead engine and then choose the domain. If you're an agent, it's going to go right to your agent site.
Gotcha. So once we're in the page, the first step here is we're going to create a hashtag or designated hashtag related to what we're doing. And I think for the example here, I'm going to build out a page for new construction. Let's just choose that because it's an easy example, right? Actually, I'm bored of that one. I'll just show you an example of new construction. It's right here. Let's do starter homes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to do hashtag starter homes, right? So that's our first step. Do I put the pound sign there or do I leave it out?
No. And usually what I'll do is I'll think of the area that I'm targeting. So if it's a specific county, city, zip code, I might put in that area and then like
Yeah.
SH for starter homes or SF for single family, CO for condos. And that
Gotcha.
because when I glance at it, I can be like, okay, these are people looking for starter homes, that were single family or apartments or what have you. And
Right.
that gives you additional insight. Then the only place you ever need to drop the hashtag symbol is when you're creating a note on your dashboard on a timeline.
Got it. So
Otherwise, you never need to add one.
I'm going to name this one York, PA starter homes. I'm in beautiful York,
Perfect.
Pennsylvania today. So we'll do that. And then I'm going to use see the list now as my submit button. That's a good one to use when you're offering a squeeze list of properties.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to have my URL after login right here.
Yep.
And this URL, best practice is to actually create a squeeze link to those properties. So
Yeah.
I painted myself in a corner here. I'm going to switch to Pinellas Starter Homes.
Mm-hmm.
My website is not in York County. All right. And then I have my see the list now. And then my URL after login, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to build a quick squeeze link for this. It's very easy to do.
Except when you have
my password manager getting in the way. Yeah, it's a big pain. So I'll create my list. I kind of already did that over here for example's sake. So kind of grab that.
Yep.
So the squeeze functionality, you just kind of fill out the link that you're giving away. So in this case, I'm going to be giving away starter homes. So I would come in here. Let's do this. I'll do 100,000.
And this is important too, to put a ceiling and a floor on your price points. If you don't want anything under X to show, you can affect that.
That's a great way of calling it, a ceiling and a floor. Hey, quick question, Annalisa. Because you can add a hashtag into a squeeze page and you can add a hashtag into a landing page, how's that going to work in a landing page?
Well, the landing page will actually supersede everything with that tag. But my theory, whenever you, can you hear me?
Yep,
yeah,
you're there.
Okay, my phone was doing something.
It sounded like you got buzzed out like we were on a game show.
Well, yeah. So what you can do
is
Annalisa. I'm going to phone a friend. So what you can do is create your squeeze page and share that out to your social media as you normally would. And then you can hinge off of that and then squeeze your landing page to give a different avenue of people to get to your website. So it's all about thinking of the assets you have and then looking at the different facets of which you can share them out into that universe. So I'm always like, you got your trifecta of lead gen tools in KV Core. You've got your squeeze page, your landing page, and your text code, which can handle both of those.
Yeah.
So they all kind of work together.
Will it add both hashtags if you put one in the squeeze page and one in the landing page?
I haven't seen that happen. I've only seen it add the landing page.
Yeah, it'll redirect based on the hashtag that's right here. So
I need to go. My mom's calling me from the hospital, so I gotta go.
Oh no, okay. All right.
That's okay. I'll step in.
All right. So so the URL here for the redirect is to our squeeze link of properties. Okay. So we got my Pinellas starter homes. They click see the list now, and this is the page they're going to go to. I have the option to require the phone up top. You see me checking off the link there. And you can kind of see in the box, it might be faint on your screen, but in the cell phone box down here, you can see that go away and come back. And then I have the ability to choose a background right here in our landing pages. So I can choose any of the pre-built templates, or I can insert an image for a custom background URL if I want right there. So you can generate a background URL image, and maybe we'll show you a little trick for that in a second, but I want to continue through and just get you the basics of building a page. So basically you need an image that's hosted online to put in there. So we're going to do starter homes. So my custom background, let's just pick like a cool living room, something like that. And then I'm going to say Pinellas County starter homes. Starter in parentheses to kind of accent it. And the kind of format I like to use is priced between 100,000. That's probably too low these days, and 300,000. But you would basically pick the range that popped up when you ran the search. Like that. I like to double click. Did you see me double click? And I got rid of those additional bullets. Personally, I'm a fan of having less is more approach with these landing pages. The more copy people have to read, the more likely their brain is to get confused. Now, if you're doing something a little more in depth, like you've got a luxury property and you want to tease all the great features in it, and you're building a landing page that kind of is doing a coming soon, sure. But for these list-based offers where you're offering a list of properties, I like to keep them short, like what you see on the screen. You do have the ability down here. For most of the people watching this, you can kind of change and bribe entry of the cell number. So if you enter your cell number right now, we'll text you to the best starter home deal we know about on the market right now. And what I'm doing here is kind of just about giving people a reason why they're going to take the action. They're probably going to hesitate to give you a cell number. And also we want to pull accurate cell numbers. So if they know they're getting something of value, the best deal you know about right now, they're more likely to give you an accurate number instead of a fake one. So I'm going to click, I think I'm happy with this now. I'm going to click save. And this is very important if you're listening right now. You do want to make sure you save the URL to this. Now, I was talking to the product team. I do think we're going to have the ability to edit and save these in the near to mid future. But currently, there's no way to save these and access them later. So you want to copy that URL. And a little trick I like to use is I usually put them inside of a folder on my Google Chrome. So you can right click in Google Chrome in your bookmarks bar, and you can add folder, just a little tip for you, and do landing pages. And then I can save my link right here. And you'll see it'll pull the headline there. I can always edit that as well. That's just a little bit of an advanced tip. Or I know a lot of people will keep these URLs in a separate spreadsheet or notepad or something like that.
And that little blue star in the upper right corner where that QR code builder is, Ryan, that's where they can just bookmark it using that star button.
Right, up at the very top. I know it's faint, but you can bookmark it there as well. Yep. I like to keep mine in folders so that they don't get
Me
all
too.
lost like that. But yeah,
I agree. I think that's a great idea.
Yep. And then Dan's asking, how long do they landing pages stay alive? As far as I know, forever.
And that's the cool thing about a landing page is that aren't you technically creating a one-page website?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, it really is. It's cool. It's a one-page website. Question came in about Ryan, what if you wanted to attach something like a PDF, or if you wanted to do maybe a custom page or something? How could you use that in a landing page?
So yeah, we'll show an example of that, but to answer that question, it's all about the redirect URL up top here. So I have this page. I'll show it to you now, and it'll kind of show us a nice example of our video plus lead. So you see we have this video plus lead option here. I have this page that I like to use. I bought a custom domain for it, 727realestatedeals.com, and I recently turned this into a video of me instead of just doing the deals. A video of me. And what this redirects to is actually a page on my site that has various different resources. So I'll just show you guys.
I love the URL after login because you can send it anywhere. So you could add it to this custom page. You could redirect it over to a lender page. You could redirect it to the Fannie Mae loan limits. You could send it anywhere. It's cool.
Yep. So you see, it redirects here. And what these are is a handful of different squeeze links bullet pointed. Now, to answer that question about attaching a PDF, what you could do is you could put a link to your PDF here, right? A link to it. And you could have a video. A best practice would be to have like a little bit of, I call them bridge videos, where you say, hey, here I am. Here's my voice. Here's my face. Introduce yourself and say the resource you requested is right down below. Go ahead and click to download my PDF, the 7 best ways to sell your house for top dollar or whatever it might be. And feel free to reach out to me. My cell number is also below, right? So you could do stuff like that. And the way to get the PDF link, there's a few ways to do that. One is to just use Google Drive and just upload it there and share that. And I've also recommended from time to time this site called docdroid.net that I just find to be kind of quick and easy for this sort of thing. It'll just turn my PDF into a link for me. So that's docdroid.net. So let's see. So that's that question. Yeah, thanks, Kelly. Can I store a PDF on KV Core? Kelly, can we upload those to the blog? No, right? I don't think we have.
Well, You could make it a blog and then go grab the link for it
Well,
and then
the
put it on
content-
that page.
Yeah. So the
Well,
actual
I'd
content
put
you
it on
would've-
the blog. Yeah.
Right. So the actual content that would have been in the PDF, what Kelly's saying is you would make that your blog post. But I know people are using some services that give you PDFs. I think
they're
know what I mean?
actual like really great custom content. I would simply put it as a shareable link, and then I'd create a hyperlink to send it to, or I just use the shared link in the landing page.
Yeah.
And
So
then,
if I go,
somebody had commented earlier, they wanted to do like a, they wanted to be able to add additional boxes in there to make it like a form, like a questionnaire form. And what I would do is I would use that as a, the landing pages as a bridge link to bridge them into your questionnaire form. And I've done that before just using Google Forms.
yeah, I'm going to grab one of my daughter's PDF examples here for school. I want to show you guys. I'm in Google Drive. Here we go. And then file upload. We'll just grab whatever this is. So it'll upload. I'm not sure. Okay, that's nothing too personal. All right. And then what we can do is we can share at the top right. And then copy the link right here. So you could use Google Drive as sort of free hosting or Dropbox or something like that. And then you would link to that from within your custom page. So if I go to, let's go to web content here. And I can go to my Web and IDX. I go to my content, I go to my custom pages. So the deal links page I just showed you is right here. I could come in and say, also click here to download a free report about XYZ, the 3 best areas to invest in Pinellas County, whatever that might be. And then I would highlight this. And then I would use this little link right up here and paste that PDF link to my Google Drive right there. Click save, and you'll see it should have a nice underline right on it. Now, you can also set that PDF link if you want to. I kind of gave you the best practice where you do the video and it's like bridging and you have all this stuff going on. If you want, you could just do this, and I'm going to build it pretty quickly here since you guys are kind of familiar with how these pages are built. So you could start a new landing page, and my URL after login could be that link and take them straight to the link. And I would do free, 7-page, free 7-page Pinellas County real estate investing secrets report, something like that. It's hard to be creative live here, right? Free 7-page report shows you the 3 best areas. I don't think I need 7 here. Free PDF report shows you the 3 best neighborhoods. Gotta be careful about that, right? The areas in Pinellas County for investment properties with potential for appreciation. I am getting too wordy. Copywriting live is tough, but basically something like that. A free report shows you the 3 best areas to invest in now if you want long-term appreciation on your Pinellas County investment property. Right. So you would write that all out, and then your link to that report could be directly pasted there. But I'll say it again. I definitely recommend that bridge thing.
I personally like to use those custom pages. Can you show them real quick how to get to a custom page so that they could add it to there?
Absolutely. So yeah, you go to the Web and IDX on the side, and you go to website contents, and then to create a new one, it's this green button up at the top. It says new page, and you can write it here. And what I just showed a second ago, so here would be the link to your PDF. So you would do link to PDF, right? Whatever it is, you describe it, or you do click here to download the PDF, right? Something like that. And then you highlight that and then use the little chain thingy there. and that's how you get it in a custom page. And Kelly, I think what you're probably alluding to is how do we generate the link to the custom page, right?
Exactly. Because I feel like anytime you can store something on your website as usable content, you can always use it later, because I'm all about repurposing my stuff. At least, maybe somebody finds it randomly while they're on my website, but it's also there so that I can use it in a landing page. I love that about those landing pages.
Yeah. So once I've saved that custom page, it'll be in my menu here. I saved it in the stuff you might like category, and you can see my custom page example. Be right there. And then I can copy this. And again, that would be my URL after would go right here. So basically the flow is you can use landing pages to redirect to whatever you want to. And in the documentation here, our bullet points, a few things you might do mentioned here, something like a single property or coming soon page. So you could do coming soon 123 Main Street, see price and picks now, right? So there's a little bit of curiosity there. They enter, and then you take them to maybe a custom page or a post about the coming soon listing. You could do single property search lists, which is, new construction homes, starter homes, a lot of the stuff we talk about in the Next Level Growth System, those quick little niches. A video lead gen page like the one I just showed you there, where I'm on camera telling them basically to do the thing that I want them to do to get what they want to get, right? Get my deal links now. We have offer a free report, which somebody just kindly segued us into, right? So you have some kind of free report or content you've got from a service that's curated, or maybe you've had one professionally written. I'll mention that. There's nothing wrong. Maybe you go to a Fiverr or something and have somebody write you some kind of real estate related report if you're not in the mood to write. And then let me show you a few others here. And the reason I'm moving a little fast, guys, I do want to leave space for you guys to request specific types of pages. And I've already seen some of those questions, so we'll get to that in a minute. But I do want to show you an example of building a home value request page using the address template. So again, we'll come in here to Lead Engine, build landing page, click on the lead generation, and you'll see this address capture option right here. So we could say home value report as our hashtag. There's actually this home value report type background. Kelly, you're doing a core present session in about a half hour. So it would also be very cool probably to take like an image of one of those sample reports and use the custom background here and do that.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. You want to show them how to do that cool fancy trick to get those
custom
let's do
that now. And before we finish this page, this is a good time. So where do you have that link handy that you showed me yesterday for Core Present?
I do. Hang on one second and I will grab it for you right here.
I bet it's in our Slack chat here.
Nope, I got it right here. I just popped it right into the Ryan Hartman. This should do it.
Yeah, I got it. Cool. So let's see. So
it's one of those next pages. I like that one.
Page do you like? This one?
I like that one or the market assessment one on the next page. Either one.
Cool. So I'm going to show you. I'll just use this one. I'm going to show you guys how to take any image online and make it the background of your landing page. So we're going to use this. And what I've done first is I've used a screenshotting tool. So you could use Command-Shift-4 on a Mac or the snipping tool on Windows. I like to use Lightshot Screenshot. If you want to Google that, Lightshot Screenshot, it's a free tool that lets me just kind of hit print screen and I can drag and do some cool stuff. And then what I'll do is I'll save this to my hard drive. Background image, just so I can find it in a minute. And then the trick that I think you told me about, right, Kelly?
It's kind of a cool one. I think you go into your blog posts.
Right. So I'll click Quick Actions, Blog Posts.
And then you act like you're creating a new blog, but trust me, we're not blogging here, guys. And then the one thing there's very few places in KV Core where you can upload images, but in the blog posts you can. So if you click on the graphics button right there and go ahead and click on it, it gives you an option to upload. So if you see that upload button, you can actually grab something from your computer. So once whatever image you're using, whether it's like Ryan did, or if you're doing it on Canva, or maybe you grabbed a free photo somewhere, what it does is you don't need that. Actually, you went a little fast there. There you go, right there. So once you get the image uploaded, see that big long link up there? we're actually hosting it for you on the KV Core servers. So all you have to do is triple click on it and grab that link and copy it. Once you do that, you don't need the blog post anymore. You can cancel everything from there because the only thing you needed is that source, because that's what you need. You need a source. Just go ahead and X that out and go back into your custom landing page, into custom background.
Yep. Just trying to remember which one.
And pop that source code right there and you're done. It's not even source code, it's the source link. Ta-da!
Yeah. So that's how you get a custom background. And they're fun. I think they're fun.
I think so. I think it just really adds a little personality to your page.
And then for a seller page, you might do something like free detailed report shows you what a buyer might pay for St. Pete area property today, something like that. I've also used, that's just one copy example. Another one that has worked really well is the following. It's just free Pinellas County home value report. You can just leave free out. I get rid of these other bullets.
Those are not clickable links at all, just so you know. Those are just bullet points. You can override them and put whatever text you want in there. It's just a text box. But I'm like Ryan, I think they're a little cluttery, so I get rid of them. And by the way, there's no undo button in these. So if you want them to come back, if you accidentally double click on them, you actually have to refresh the screen and start over.
Yeah. So this is a good format for generating home value requests. It works pretty well if you have an ad that offers it and the person gets here. It's another example where less is more. They just saw an ad or a call to action on your business card or something, and they're like, oh, I want to get the home value report. Maybe they got an email from you. They come in here and like, oh, okay, step one, enter my address, and they continue through. So that would be an example of a seller focused type landing page. And again, that is accessible when you build the page, lead engine, build landing page. And then it's one of the options here. And then Jeff's asking a great question. Does this collect their email somehow? And it does. So what I'll do is I'll show you. I have to open a new incognito window. That's a little tip for you when you build those pages. If you're logged in to KV Core, it's not going to make you log in again because it's going to know you're logged in. It's not going to collect an email. So I go into an incognito window here. I'll enter an address. And then it'll do its little thing. It'll calculate and redirect, and you'll see now it will ask for an email to get value. Now I'll tease, guys. I don't know if you know this, Kelly, but I've seen the designs for our new seller pages, and they're crazy good. Like crazy good. Crazy good.
You know what? Those developers have been working really hard. They are doing some really cool stuff. We've got some. We're saving squeeze pages now too. I love it.
This whole flow is evolving in a very, very serious way. And some of the sold data and some of the things that are happening with Core Present are being integrated. And I think a lot of people are going to be excited about that. So just a little bit of a tease there. So yeah, good question. Good question, though, Jeff. And then I see some other questions. The Core Present, Kelly, I'll let you handle that. I know that it's available if your broker has it.
Correct. It is a broker add-on feature. So I'm going to be showing off a little bit about Core Present because it's come up in the last couple of sessions and viewers have been asking for it. So I'm just going to do a quick overview right after this session of Core Present. But currently we are working to roll it out into more and more areas, but it is kind of specific by area. Right now we're in most places in the United States and some places in Canada.
Great. And then the last landing page, there's a few other options here, but I'm not going to go deep. The content hijack for my money is a little too complicated. I almost wish we would take that out. And it's not super relevant right now. I would focus on the lead generation, the video lead. The video view is where you're not collecting info, but maybe you want to do a pre-sell video and introduce yourself and then let them click through to say a squeeze page. So you could do a squeeze link of properties. That's one option. And then we have our Facebook Messenger chat option where we actually did a webinar 2 weeks ago where we talked about running a your town real estate agent ad, like somebody Googles Tampa real estate. And we were taking them to this page so that people can then click and chat with our Facebook page. And the way to build these is pretty simple. You just put your identifier right here. And I think it preloads if you have that configured in KV Core as well. Your Messenger Facebook vanity URL. And if somebody clicks that, they can chat with you directly on Messenger. So that was, I know that I went a little fast, but we have an hour and I just wanted to kind of give you guys a surface understanding of the different options. Again, I think lead generation pages that offer lists of properties or free reports are going to be your most powerful, high converting options. So starter homes, new construction, fixers and fix and flip, income properties, downsizing, golf course homes. I could go on. Anything you can slice and dice in your MLS, create a landing page that offers that list and then redirect. The other one that I didn't show here is that coming soon example. Once it's coming soon. This is very good in the market like we're in now, right? 123 Main Street. See price and picks now. You could use the background trick to get that picture of the house on there. And this will convert very well right now because people are starved for inventory. Still in most markets, I know things are slowing down a little bit, but that's a really good technique kind of lander that you would build. So instead of taking them straight to the details, maybe you even have a coming soon sign if it's legit, if it's allowed in your market. You put a custom domain on there like 123mainstreet.info. They come here, the neighbor's walking their dog, right? Or somebody's driving by. They come here, they give you their info first, and then you take them to the information in a custom page or something. So just looking at the questions before we continue. Not sure generally. Yep.
Question came in from Jeff. Can we link to form to gather more information? So Ryan, I just dropped in a copy of, this is just kind of a form that I put together on, it's for my garage sale that I do. And I use the landing page and I forward them over to this form. So the link up at the top there, which is what you get pre-filled when you do one of those Google forms, I just take that link and add that as my URL after login. So if you wanted to build a really extensive, start here to fill out your, seller questionnaire, and then go build a seller questionnaire over in your landing page, just use that as your URL after login.
Yep, very good example. And yes, the other answer is if you wanted to use, say, a video view page as your thank you page, you would create this first. And then you would create the lead generation page. You would redirect to this URL, but the answer is yes, you can do that. Mark's asking, he has a vanity URL, Smithville Cash Offers, and he wants to forward it to his Express Offers URL. And yes, it's absolutely something you can do. So what you do, Mark, is you actually, from the GoDaddy side of things, you forward that URL to the landing page link. Right, so take your, does that make sense? Okay, good. So my 727 real estate deals, all this is actually just a KV Core landing page that I went into my domain registrar and I forwarded it over. I don't even think I hide the KV Core URL. I'm waiting for it to load here. Kelly, I'm in a rural area and we have the T-Mobile internet, which I'll plug real quick. It's actually really good. My in-laws got it because they couldn't get regular internet, but all my little nieces come over some afternoons and they plug their iPads in, and then I suffer.
Oh, they're sucking up the juice today, huh?
They are. Yeah, I can tell when they're here. I can actually hear them downstairs, but yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Anyway, yeah, you can redirect URLs. That's the answer to that. And now I did see a question too about where's the best place to promote these. So we'll kind of go and I'll just share a few ideas. Now, if you're a Next Level member, you see us talking all the time about Google pay-per-click, and I've shown specific Google PPC ads, going to our new construction page and different pages like that. So Google pay-per-click, Facebook, Pinterest, all the other pay-per-click channels is a good place to go. And these pages perform really well to Google. I think I showed a page earlier, my new construction page. We're doing about $9 a lead to this page right now off of Google. So that's somebody actively searching for real estate in our area opting into that. Another good place is in your email signature. This is something you can all do right now once you have a core page that you're focused on, starter homes, new construction, whatever that is. You can go into your email signature in KV Core. So the way to get there is you come into the dashboard, you click on your name up at the top right, you click on your profile, and you click edit profile, I'm pretty sure. And then down here, you'll see a signature. your signature. And you'll notice that what I've done here is I've said, click here to see current Pinellas County real estate deals links. And what that does is it takes people to that page I was just showing you, the 727 real estate deals. And I have a separate one that is for a seller focused offer that takes them to my home valuation page. So those are two, the your email signature is a really good place to go with a call to action for that. And
your voicemail. Don't forget to update your voicemail. That's something most people don't even remember to do these days. But you could update your voicemail. Say, hey, this is Kelly with ABC Realty, and I can't come to the phone right now with my kids or showing houses. So to get the best deals in Pinellas County, go to 3dealsinpinellascounty.com. Done.
Except for my wife, maybe my brothers. I haven't picked up the phone in about 5 years, Kelly. And I think what you just said is absolute gold. I had never thought to do that.
There you go.
I'm doing that immediately. So
worth the price of admission right there.
Especially if you never pick up your phone, you just say, hey, I'm not going to pick up the phone, but if you want to get to know me better, go to this URL, whatever. Really cool. So voicemail, offline, basically that would be like billboards, park benches, postcards, right? Anything that's offline and physical in the real world. Use those vanity URLs. You can buy a .info domain for a couple bucks a year on GoDaddy, or at least for the first year, and forward that through. Back of the business card. Back of business cards. So, just picture somebody's reading the front of your business card and you just do 727realestatedeals.com, right? And with a little call to action, like see all the best deals in the area, go here. And then our webinar yesterday about cold messaging, which you can find on the YouTube channel or in the Next Level members area, we touched on, this approach where you're just sending quick messages through Facebook or LinkedIn. You could also integrate your landing pages into those flows. So just some ideas. I'm sure I missed as many as I mentioned here, but basically anywhere you can get eyeballs, you can put a landing page link. And I have email. I kind of erased it because I thought we had mentioned it already, but that was different than email signature. Email, what I mean by that is mass emails. So you would go into KV Core and you would say, okay, and I like to do these as scheduled mass, right, Kelly? It's probably a best practice. So we'll go to marketing.
Yeah, scheduled mass goes out in bulk and queues. So you kind of fly low under that radar for spamming and stuff. I just feel like it's that added layer of protection.
Yeah, so I can come in here and schedule an email. And what you would do is you could go to people already in your database, but try to re-engage them. Maybe it's somebody who hasn't talked to you in a long time. You can also include us in a smart campaign. Say, hi. Maybe your subject line is property list of the week. Pinellas fixers and foreclosures. And you just say, hi. I'm going to do this real short. This isn't how I'd actually write it, but today's list of the week is fixers. Click here to check them out. I would definitely word that a little more, sophisticated, but 727 real estate deals. So what this would do, they might already be a lead in your system, but the interesting thing about this is if they're not logged into your system when they get the email and you're trying to re-engage them, they'll pop up again with a fresh hashtag. You're kind of re-engaging them, right? So I think that's a pretty good place to go. And then also a nice way to get them on a new smart campaign that might be attached to that. So the cold messaging video, the replay of this as well, guys, will be on insiderealestate.com/webinars.
And I just popped it in from our YouTube channel.
Yep. So insiderealestate.com/webinars. The date of that, in case you happen to be watching this replay in the future, that was August 11th, 2021. So search our YouTube channel for that. We can just search for cold messaging. Yeah. I always have to mention that to the people who aren't here watching yet.
It's kind of like turning on that record button, isn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, it's kind of like this for me. I always think of this, and I think of our buddy Jeremy, who works with us, because he reminds me of this. But this is what it reminds me of whenever I do that on a webinar. Oh,
yep.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So, all right. I don't like showing Keanu. My wife talks about him a little too much. All right. So what else do we have here in our list? So we had some examples. We talked about some different ways you can promote. Now we've got about 15 minutes, and I saw a few requests. I saw one about the express offers. Does anybody want to see a specific type of page with some headline copy or whatever built live? Brian says, Fixer Upper? Fixer Upper? Hardly know her. All right. So we would go here. we go build landing page, and anything that's related to a property list is really easy. It's just, you can do free weekly, you can either say the area, so you might do York, PA, fixer uppers, and just state what it is. And I love this idea of starting from, $23,000. Say you just pick the lowest fixer upper, And
Did we talk to them about using the hashtag as a follow-up system to add those search alerts? Because that's kind of a big deal.
You're right. We're not really digging in on the follow-up part, but let's take 5 minutes on that. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'd hate not to give them this really great piece of follow-up tool that they can use, because that's such an important part of the incubation process. So while you're building that out, I'll just kind of give a quick verbal overview. Those hashtags, because they are that magic bullet in KV Core, it is a great way to trigger some of that automated stuff that you're promising. So if you're promising them a free weekly list of fixer-uppers in that area, you can actually use the hashtags as a way to trigger that search alert, so that it continues to go out based on maybe a frequency of, say, once a week. And that's something that you can find and do in the marketing section under search alerts. You can use a hashtag to trigger a search alert. So not only are these people going to come in with whatever hashtag you've given them for this York, PA fixer-uppers, but because you took the time to set up that search alert in advance, they're going to continue to get those fixer-uppers every week because you already set up a search alert to find that.
Yep. So 2 conventions, just the city fixer-uppers, or you can do free weekly list of, which sets the stage up to receive the properties in the future. And the way that you deliver that free weekly list, you can manually send the blast out, right, anytime you want. But as Kelly said, you can come into the lead engine here.
Marketing. It's in marketing.
I always do that. And then you come here and you go to search alerts and you say, hey, anytime that hashtag comes in off that landing page, so York, PA fixers, I want to go ahead and send I would pick York as my location, and I want to send that once a week. I want to send them all the latest. And then you would for fixers, you would go here and choose options. And then we have most MLSs, most sites have fixer upper as an option, like so. Jeff, that's a good question. How do you tell those images are royalty free? For the purposes of demo, I was just grabbing a quick link. But the way to actually do that and get a royalty free, you could use tools, usage rights, and then Creative Commons. So when I do that, there's actually more than I would expect. But if I click Creative Commons in Google's image search, I can get stuff that's usable. Ed says golf communities. That's one of my favorites to show. So let's do that. So, and that's a great niche, guys. We all know golf people are nuts. Like they are crazy rabid about golf, right? So, Pinellas County, Florida, homes and golf communities. And if you want to have fun, you can put a little personality in these things, have a little fun, And then I'm always gonna, with this example, here's my background. It's gotta be this, right? Have fun with it. It's gotta be. Right. So, and don't do what I'm doing. I'm just grabbing for demo's sake the image URLs off Google, but that was a good point that was just brought up. Don't do that because you could run into trouble with royalties. But just to show you, the creatives, makes a kind of nice looking page, right, Kelly?
I think so. Yeah.
Like a little fun. And then when you run your ads for these, if you're running, say, a Facebook ad, you can try to match the image in your background to the image in the creative. And they call that like the ad scent trail. Basically, you're keeping the ad itself matching the page that you're trying to convert off of. So we don't have time to run the whole funnel today. If you are a next level member, you can kind of see trainings on that inside of the training tutorials part. But yeah, golf communities is a really good one, especially if you're in an area that's kind of like a destination and people are traveling in your area. You can go on Facebook and say, run an ad to everybody traveling here who likes golf, and then show that ad. I think you can still do golf as an interest for real estate, but even if you can't, the ad copy itself will still, engage people interested in golf, and the algorithm will figure that out. So good suggestion, golf. Nobody's asked for recruiting or agent attraction. Really, this can work well. So you can just say, you can be very direct and say, considering switching offices. There's two types of landing pages for recruiting. Switching real estate offices. This would be for somebody who's already got a license, right? We've got a surplus of leads available for the right, for the right tech savvy agent or something. You call out who you want to get, or or we need somebody. We are hiring a listing agent, right? If you have a big team, something like that. Or you can do surplus leads available, make that your headline. And get specific on the area. And then you'd say,
how about just a good old fashioned help wanted?
Yeah, that too. So help wanted. Something like that. So that would be the seasoned agents. You can do stuff like that. And all you would do is you would just take them straight to, have them opt in. A second way to go about that would be you could give away other people's content. We have a little course in the learning portal about that, but you could say, 12 free webinars, 12 free real estate lead generation webinars. And you could, if you want, you could go to our YouTube channel. I love sharing this with people because it's like promoting my own stuff. But you could go to our YouTube channel, make a custom page in KV Core and put a video up top that says, hey, here's 12 videos, awesome videos about real estate lead generation, recorded webinars. And as you watch these videos, you'll notice that it mentions a tool called KV Core. And if you come to my office, I'll get you access to that, right? Something like that. And that could be, you could sort of sell KV Core and all the functionality that you see us talking about today as a bonus for joining you. And then you could use our content, other people's content, or even you could aggregate content from coaches like Tom Ferry and other guys and put them all on a nice page and offer that with a KV Core landing page as a resource to attract agents to you and your business. And then the other example I wanted to show, we're getting tight on time, is something that I think people overlook when it comes to agent attraction and recruiting is new agents. So you could just do something like how to become a real estate agent. And is it fair to say, I don't know if I would say this, but the subheadline might be, and make 6 figures your first year, or something more realistic, and make
lots of money.
And but you could be specific. If you think that with your guidance, and if somebody joins your team as a buyer's agent, that is super realistic for them to make $75,000 their first year if they're willing to work a nice 40 or 50 hour week, right? So I think it's fair to say, but I got you, Kelly, if you don't want to make claims, right? You could just say, and succeed fast.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, and be successful your first year.
Yeah, and be successful your first year, something like that. And sell your first house within 3 months, something like that. Specificity. But again, in this case, you would just make a quick report, a PDF, right? Make a Google Doc that you redirect to, make a video, and just tell people this. Anybody listening to this knows exactly the steps that you took to get where you're at now. And you just say, hey, go to this real estate training school, hook up with my office, and then work with me. You're going to be my buyer's agent maybe for the first 3 months. And I'm going to make sure you have what you need to succeed in terms of leads and support and everything else. So.
Side note, if you leave that URL after login blank, just so you know, it will still work. Everything works just fine. However, the destination that your people will end up on is the first page of your website.
Yeah.
Your homepage.
So if you really want to be lazy and not have a URL after login, you say, want to meet the best realtor?
There you go. And just leave it blank and send them to your website.
I think we could all get a URL. Yeah, that's a good tip though. I don't think I've ever tried that. Okay, so Ed's asking a really good question. Do you recommend landing pages over squeeze pages for Google Ads? And I'll kind of open the kimono here real quick. The answer is they both actually work pretty well. Now, the thing with our squeeze pages with squeeze links is they consistently come in anywhere from 9 to 11 or 12% conversion. And so like anytime, if you just do a York, PA homes for sale, and you just use that super short tail keyword that everybody's searching, you probably will be right in the 10% range if you just drive to the squeeze link. It works pretty much across all of North America. Sometimes you get some variation, different times a year. It's not guaranteed to always work with those numbers. But if you get a landing page, a lot of times you could end up with a higher conversion rate, but it requires just a little more work. And something's happened here. Here we go. I've got some extra stuff. I have a video campaign. Oh, by the way, for those of you who saw our St. Pete, Florida real estate agent campaign 2 weeks ago, it's gotten 27 clicks so far. That is I think that's in the next level. So that you can drive clicks to that. I have no idea how many people have talked to us because I'm not sending a lease myself. But to answer your question, though, I'll show you the difference here. So we have one that's going Ed to St. Pete Income Properties. I believe this is a squeeze link, and we're getting a 9.14% conversion rate and $12 a lead. But this St. Pete New Construction, which I showed you a minute ago, that's getting at almost a 12% and an $8 a lead, $8.91 per conversion. And in both cases, we're running it the same, pretty much the same exact set of keywords. So I would say since we just got done talking about landing pages for an hour, I would say give it a shot with landing pages first, because they seem to slightly edge out. And there is potential that you could get to much higher rates if you get the right keyword to message match. I haven't really split tested this and spent a ton of time on it. But I really like that question. It's definitely next level. It's a little geeked out, but try something like this where it's just the offer, the price range, and run that at the main keywords in your area, and you'll be good. And if you get more granular and you do a Google AdWord campaign, and you are only running it for keyword like St. Pete foreclosures, and that's the only top result. Google. Google just started talking to me, if you heard that, Kelly.
Yeah.
I said, okay, Google, I guess. Yeah,
doing it again.
Okay. Anyway, I think you get what I'm saying. You could pick one granular keyword that might not be getting a lot of traffic and run it to a page that says exactly that same thing, and probably inch up over 20, 30, even 40%. If you really want to spend a lot of time building little micro campaigns in Google. So for those of you who just understood what I said, I think that was worth the cost of admission. There's some gold in those hills. It just requires a little work, So we got 3 minutes until Kelly's session. Guys, we went really quick here today. I realize that, and that is sort of the nature of our next level membership. I talk a little fast. Kelly and Annalise are here to help slow me down sometimes. But we had a lot of content to cover today, so we kind of ran through. I'll invite you to watch the replay. Remember that on our replays, you can slow down the speed, right? When you're watching a YouTube video or any of the trainings in the learning portal at KV Core, you can click the little gear at the bottom right and slow us down and follow along maybe in another browser. And also I'll mention that you can always get help and support either through the main support channels in your KV Core dashboard or in our Facebook group. It's insiderealestate.com/Facebook group. You can pop in there and say, hey, I was on the landing pages session. We didn't really have time, but I would really like to see an example of XYZ landing page. And I'll record you a video of me creating it if you want, or I'll just make it and paste it there. So hope that's useful, guys. I hope you guys got some value out of this today. Gina Marie says, good tip to slow it down. And Kelly's link is there posted in the chat for anybody who wants to continue on close out this Zoom and hop on with Kelly about Core Present. Kelly, definitely get that recorded, right? And we'll get that on YouTube.
Yep, I will hit that record button.
Yep, and then we'll see you guys all next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think Tuesday is going to be a product update because Kelly and I are going to be traveling, but you're going to have somebody from our product team on to talk about some of the things that are upcoming on Tuesday. Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
Bye, everybody.